So experts now believe that the crash is coming, that we are about to see millions and millions of families struggle to pay their bills, can't pay their mortgage or their rent, can't make a car payment, can't keep up with monthly bills like credit cards, cell phones, their Netflix account, and even gym memberships. We are about to see a complete crash, and for one reason. I'm going to explain all this in just a moment. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So why are we about to see a crash? Well, according to experts, one thing is about to happen. We are about to see the money that's been sitting on the sidelines, whether it was in your investment account, whether it was from selling a home or a car or some type of asset, that money that's been sitting on the sideline has been slowly leaking. You've been pulling from that. For instance, I have a friend sold his car, made about $30-some thousand, had about $30-some thousand. This was a handful of months ago, the end of 2023, and he started pulling from it. That money was set aside to buy a new car. He had like $30-some thousand. And he slowly started pulling from that. Well, guess what? Now we're in May. The car market is really softened, and he's looking for a new car. Well, then he went back to his account to see, well, how much money do you have? He has less than half. He's been slowly pulling money. $1,000 here, $500 here, $200 here. This is exactly what many Americans are doing, but they're doing it with their 401k. We are now seeing more people are taking early withdrawals. For instance, back in 2019, we were seeing about 2.3% of people, according to Vanguard, were taking an early withdrawal from their 401k accounts. Well, fast forward to today, we are seeing about 3.6%. So a little bit of an increase. But here's the concern. People are not taking money out for their normal withdrawals, like if you have a funeral expense, if you have a tuition payment, that's included. And it's, again, you can take money out for these things, right? And penalty free, but it's not tax free. You can even take money out for to prevent an eviction or foreclosure, even medical expenses. These are things that you can take money out for. But people are now starting to pull money out, saying that they need to prevent an eviction. They need to prevent a foreclosure on their home. Guess what? More and more Americans are now saying that they cannot afford their mortgage. If you got a mortgage, let's say in the past year or two, many people are now saying they cannot afford it. It's too much. They used to be able to afford it, but now all the other bills are adding up. Their credit cards, their new car payment that they got after their mortgage, that $600, $700, $800 per month in car payments, plus the additional $200 to maybe $300 in car insurance. Well, that's eating into their budget. They cannot afford it. So, experts believe that as soon as we get through this election year, we're going to see a massive crash. We already know auto loan delinquencies, they hit a 13-year high as the monthly car payment got bigger. We're over $700. $700 a month for a new car is crazy. This is what we are expecting. Okay? One thing I can tell you though is that for many people, and this is what's happening, they are seeing their homes, the value of their home is below what they paid. They're upside down in their home already. For millions of people that purchased a car last year and the year prior, their car's value is down here. The amount of money that they owe on the car is up here. They're already upside down in their auto loans. And this is troubling because there's nothing they can do. They can't take the car back to the dealership and say, hey, I can't afford it. Can you give me what I paid for it? No, it's not going to work. I had a friend of mine. His sister or somebody related to him, They went in because they were struggling to pay the bill, and so they went in and told them, hey, this is the situation, and tried to give it back to the bank. The bank said, no, absolutely not, don't want it. So what they had to do, my friend was saying that he pretty much said, you know what, your only option, can't afford it. You need to go to the bank and say, okay, I can't afford this. Here's what I'm doing. They sold the car for the current value, and the difference, so let's say it was a $30,000 car, $20,000 is what the value was, okay? But they owed $30,000. Well, they sold it for $20,000. Now went back to the bank and said, you know what? I'm gonna pay this $10,000. Here's the issue: the bank was not gonna reissue a loan for $10,000, not a personal loan, not an auto loan, because there's no car there. Okay, but this is what's happening. People are doing this all over the U.S. They're finding ways to give back what they can't afford, but yet they're still struggling because there's a payment there. Guess what? This person went out and they pulled $10,000 from their retirement account for their 401k because they said that, well, I need to avoid an eviction. I cannot get evicted. I need $10,000. Took $10,000 out. They will have to pay taxes on the $10,000 this upcoming year. And, well, they shouldn't have to pay the 10% penalty, but again, you never know. So this is happening, okay? More and more Americans at this time are treating their 401ks like cash machines. It says automatic enrollment has swept more workers into 401k accounts, giving them some savings to draw on in emergencies. This is exactly what we knew was going to happen. Now, I'm not big on 401ks. I've talked about this in the past. A 401k, you're essentially pretty much delaying the tax until you retire. But what we've seen lately is taxes keep going up. So how does it make sense to, instead of paying taxes today, saving that money or putting it into the stock market or real estate or something else that you control, you're putting it into a 401k, you're delaying that tax for 10, 20, 30 years, and then whatever that tax is, when you decide to pull it out, you'll get hit with that tax, which at that point could be higher than what it is today. Again, my opinion, just doesn't make sense. But here's the thing that you need to understand. Right now, experts are predicting a crash is coming because we can't afford our homes, we can't afford our cars, we can't afford all the monthly bills that we currently have. And on top of that, things we can't afford, we are pulling the little bit of money we have in savings, in retirement, to pay for the things we know we can't afford. So here's what I can tell you. This, when it all comes down, will come crashing down. This is going to impact millions and millions of people. Even if you are not directly impacted because you don't own a home, because you don't own a car, or it's paid off, or you don't have any debts, here's the reason why this will impact you. The economy is going to struggle. The people around you are going to struggle. Businesses are going to close. People are going to be selling off goods that they really don't use, but they could use the money. Well, when they do that, the cost of those goods and the goods that you have and other things like that, they all come down. So, just be prepared, because as of right now, financial experts predict the crash is coming. So, as soon as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I will see you guys on the next one.